The Maze Runner by James Dashner. I chose Albie for the letter A because he is an important character. Albie was very harsh, but taught Thomas a lot when it came to learning. For the letter B, I chose Ben because he was who revealed that Thomas wasn't a normal guy in the glade. Ben threatened to kill Thomas one night in the woods. For the letter C, I chose code because at the end of the book, they found a code to help everyone leave the maze. If the code was not found out, half the gladers could have never left the glade. Doors is the word I chose for D because that is what open and close the maze every morning and night. Without the doors, the gladers would not be safe from the grievers. E represents all the effort that they put forth running the maze. Also, it took a lot of hard work and effort to figure out the code in the map room. F is for flare. It represents the disease that is coming around. The disease causes red bumps to appear on your face and body. Teresa says that flame will get them someday. G stands for Griever. Grievers are mechanical monsters in the maze. The Grievers are meant to challenge, kill, and prevent the gladers from proceeding and finding out the code of the maze. The Griever's sting is a painful process. Once stung, it informs you of information from your life before entering the glade. H is for homestead. Homestead represents H because in the book, it explains how the keeper slept in the homestead. When you get stung by a griever, you go through the changing in the homestead. I represents the letter for Ivy because when Thomas first stepped out of the elevator or box, as the letter says, his eyes went right to the ivy that was growing all over the walls. I thought justice for the letter J would fit. Thomas completed the maze and cracked the code. He had great justice getting past the grievers, outsmarting the creators and finding out the code. Knowledge is the word to represent K. You are in the maze, you have to have knowledge and know your way around. You need a lot of knowledge when trying to figure out the code, and knowledge is one that Thomas had. Love is the word I picked for the letter L because Thomas knew he had a connection with Teresa. A while after the connection is real, Thomas and Teresa can talk telepathically. They both fell deep in love with each other. I picked magic for the letter M. This book is not based on magic, but there is one magical part. Mino and Thomas discovered the Griever Hole while they were on their run through the maze. The Griever Hole is a small hole where if you jump into the hole, you look like you vanish in thin air. N is for nervous. Nervous represents N because the gladers are always nervous. One key point was when the walls were closing and Albie and Mino were nowhere in sight on the other side of the walls. Newt and Thomas started getting really jittery, showing signs of nervousness. I chose observing for the letter O. The creators were observing the gladers the whole time when they were in the maze with beetle blades. When the gladers got out the maze, the creators were still observing there even more. Pain is a great word to us for P. There's a lot of pain when people go through the changing. The one that do say is the worst pain they have ever gone through. Q was for quickly. Because when they found out there was a code, the gladers were moving very quickly so they could figure out the code and get out of the maze. For the letter R, the best word chose would be runner. In the book, gladers have specific jobs. One very important job is being a runner. A runner tries to seek the way out of the maze. This was Thomas's job. S is for scared. Thomas was scared at the beginning of the book. He was lost and confused, trying to figure things out. T was for Teresa. Teresa is a very important character because she's the only girl to ever enter the glade. She had a note that said she was the last one. Wicked is good. She was sent right after Thomas. U represents universe. The glade and the maze was like a whole nother universe or world. There were creatures like the Grievers and the Beetle Blades. The cliff was also unexplained and strange. This is something we wouldn't find in the universe where we live in. Vicious is an appropriate word for this letter. Their grievers were crazy, mean, and vicious. They had needles that would inject you with poison. Grievers are half machine and half animal. Wild is a great word to describe a maze runner. When Ben and Gally went through the changing, they looked and acted like crazy wild animals. They would get bloodshot eyes and had green veins popping out. Ben even tried to kill Thomas. X is for Xanadu. Means a place of great beauty, luxury, and contentment. The maze runner is the complete opposite of Xanadu. The glade looks like no one has lived there for hundreds of years. It is unsanitary and it is a nightmare. Y is for yelling. Yellow represents the letter Y because throughout the book it was clear that they yelled a lot. Newt and Allie mainly did all the yelling throughout the book. Z is for zeal. Zeal is my word for Z because Thomas showed a lot of zeal or enthusiasm when he heard he might get out the maze. Newt was also ready to get out of the super maze and face the creators. The end.